Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, we like to give all praise, honor, and glory
to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Kakodash.
I'd like to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Milltown. I'd like to say shalom to the elected word in our true faith and sincerity. Yeah, we once again back out here to let you Negro, Latino, Native, that you are the true children of Israel. You know, and that Lord Yahweh Shema Shai is about to destroy America. And it's best for you to take heed and repent, because you don't want to get caught in the crossfire, man. Because it's not going to be swift. You're going to feel the wrath of Yahweh Shema Shai. You know, matter of fact, somebody give me St. Luke 21 and 25, and also somebody get Joel. I mean, not Joel. Look at that first. Verse 2.
The book of Habakkuk, chapter 3, and verse 2. O Lord, I have heard thy speech and was afraid.
See, we have heard the speech of the Yahweh Shema Shai, which is this word coming out, man. The threats. And that's what it's ultimately coming down. That's what it is. It's death threats. Get right, or, you know, the result is death, man. By the plethora of things the Lord have said to befall this place, man. And that's the reaction we should have. Matter of fact, somebody get that Joel first time. I mean, Joel 2 and 1. Because that should be the reaction we should have when this word is on display. Because it should come with a sense of urgency. When you hear it, it should be driven to your feet. Until you know it was moved with fear, you just can't hear the report and then just unpause the game.
It's equivalent to a notice. You get a notice of bill, you don't just throw, you shouldn't just throw it, you know. The rest of the bill, you should, especially if it can be red letters. Yeah, you get that notice with them red letters on it. And it reaches your attention. And you say, they're threats. Like, the threat's gonna come to a promise. He ain't gonna threaten you and not do it like a man would. You know, blow smoke up your ass, say you wouldn't milk. No sign what he said, words should not return unto him void.
That's it. And like you said, they promise, because that comes in the realm of promise being real. A promise from, that means is a thing, you know. So that
it's like, because in the flesh, you hear the word promise, you get that warm, bubbly feeling. Like, I promise you. And you hear a violin. Piggy promise. Now, this promise is on par with a threat. The Lord promised to kill you. Or else. But he said that that's a lesson. Or else, you know.
read that again.
God, go back to Habakkuk 3 and 2. O Lord, I have heard thy speech and was afraid.
See? So, matter of fact, get that Joel.
This is Joel chapter 2 and verse 1. Blow ye the trumpet in Zion and sound an alarm in my holy mountain.
See, and those are the ones that's going to hit us. That's on the same frequency. Zion, that holy mountain, which is the elect, man, the ones that have eyes to see and ears to hear, man. That's what this message is for, because those are the ones that was destined to be preserved. Right. And the gate is really when his word is on display, and who take heed and grasp to it is destined. It has potential to be chosen, man. You know? You got it.
Good. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble.
See? That's gonna be your reaction when you hear, man. Not to get your best attire to go to the cookout tonight or whatever. No, get ready for the battle, man. Don't attention that to get ready. Uncertain sound. Because you can have a trumpet to blow for a feast, you know, whatever, a high holy day, but you also have a trumpet of dangerous kind. You know, and that's that certain sound we push, man. You know, we scared. That's the certain sound we want. Evil and all the evil. Because what else can we really tell the people, man? When you're hearing shortages and blackouts and shit everywhere, man. You know, you gotta know.
Says, for the day of the Lord cometh, for it is now at hand.
See, the day of the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shai coming, and it's not at hand. We're in the midst of that, man. But it's gonna lead to a perfect day. We in it because it's gonna take a series of events that's gonna lead to that perfect day. We in the midst of it, man. And it's only gonna intensify. But just going back to reaction is that you should trump it. You should be driven to your feet. There's a sense of urgency that comes with living, listening, and hearing this. If you have the urge to hear it,
Scripture said warn. All right. In the book of Joel 2:1, it said warn, right? It says H7 3, 2, 1. It says to shout, rise a sound, cry out, give a blast, to shout a war cry or alarm of battle.
Yeah, it's a war cry. Yeah. Yeah. What's that for that word? Sound. Or alarm. And it's heavy too. It say in my holy mountain. That complements Revelation 11. Those who worship therein. This is an inner circle amongst Israel. That's the inner circle amongst the circle. All right, the circle is Israel, and this is the inner circle.
Nation within a nation.
Right. This is their house. Okay? Well, you got it.
This is Amos 3 and 6. Shall a trumpet be blown in the city and the people not be afraid?
that should be your reaction. You scared the fire alarm, which now you just, what they call it, the tornado. But the tornado alarm, every wind is the first of the month, shit like that. Oh, they just, you hear it go out, they just testing it this way. You take your shit light, man. You not acknowledging, see, that's spirit.
Yeah, that's good.
People just think that that's the norm now. It's just a test. But one day it's not, man. And it's waiting on you, actually. Till the end, waiting on you to just go back and say the trumpet blown the city and the people to not be afraid. What the hell wrong with you, man? You hear the fire alarm going off. And you start jumping to that. Like I got another game to play on another almost game 7.
God, it says, shall there be evil in the city and the Lord hath not done it?
Hey, Yahweh Shemel Shai claim full responsibility for the things that's happening upon the planet Earth, the good and the evil. And more evil is about to be shown, man. You guys understand.
It's Jeremiah chapter 6 and verse 10. To whom shall I speak and give warning?
See, that's the point. Oh, somebody get 1 Corinthians, the 14th chapter. You got it.
It says that they may hear, behold,
See, that they may hear. See? So that you gotta have a faculty over here. Because the result is you living or dying. That's why you can see the 33. It comes down to believing the report. And we see the two faiths. Whether you don't believe, it's your fault. Shit. Blood be on your head, nigga, you ain't hit. But it said he that hearkening to the sword, the trumpet shall deliver his soul. So they show how vital it's like.
That's right. That was scripture say, what is some that I believe? That's on you.
You're like you close your eyes, you just wish it to go all the way. It don't work like that.
Turn the music, get the volume down. The song's still playing.
it says, behold, their ears uncircumcised, and they cannot hearken.
See, the Lord have blocked them from understanding that. You got it.
It says, behold, the word of the Lord is unto them a reproach. They have no delight in it.
So they don't delight in worship them for their welfare. The very thing that's supposed to be to contribute to their health, they despise it now. Instead of wanting broccoli, they want rice. A candy instead of eating the greenery. So they despise the reproach of the Lord. They despise correction. Instruction. But it's a warning. It's vital to take heed because the results is life or death. You know, but you got that. Yeah, 1 Corinthians 14 and verse.
Yeah, this is 1 Corinthians 14 and verse 7. And even things without life give a sound.
Okay. Now what was that other one? God, you got that?
1 Corinthians 14 and 7. And even things without life give a sound, whether piped or harp, except they give a distinction in the sound.
Except they give a distinction in the sound. It's a distinct sound. We're telling you the sword is coming, man. Famine is here. The Karagma is looming. There's gonna be a lot of people fraud out pretty soon, man. You know, the starfish.
Come up with short.
Yeah, a lot of washed up starfishes. We about to see, man. You know, the blackouts. That's really reality. TV apps and TV, all that shit gonna be taken away pretty soon. You know, just a day, just to chill. It's not gonna be a such thing as that. Because their mission is gonna be what they're gonna eat, man. That's what this place sounds like.
That's the thing, that's the step too. They don't have no delight in it. Right now, Sunday days. I'm gonna tell you they're gonna take the delight in the day. They're gonna have no delight in it. The stuff, the real touch, gonna be a mission every day.
So Amos chapter 5, verse 38. That's like Amos chapter 5, verse 18. Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord.
See, woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord, the Yahweh Shema Shai.
Yeah.
Because it's different. It's not what you think it is, man. You got it?
It says, to what end is it for you?
See, so what kind of relief you think you're gonna get when the Lord returns? You think shit gonna be sweet? You think it's still gonna be a McDonald's when the Lord returns, man? Chicken nuggets and shit, all these abominable things, man. You know, you got it.
It says, the day of the Lord is darkness and not light.
And see, and we in the midst of this night, man. That darkness is, and it's gonna get darker and darker, man. You know what I was gonna say, the hope is gonna fade away. These people ain't gonna have no hope in that day. It's gonna be dark. It's not gonna be no outlet. It's not gonna have a way out. You know?
Sorry.
You got it.
As you know, man, things that go on around the world, you know, the hope is disappearing. Like, you know, if not already.
Yep.
Okay? Why is that? Because, you know, people now are starting to feel the pressure. You know, they feel the pressure from the Bible. You know, famine, these things are written about within the scriptures, all right? Things supposed to happen, all right? Now it's starting to overtake you. And the scriptures say that, man. That these plagues are going to overtake you, all right? And also as well, you know, Esau Edom, which is the true biblical nationality, the so-called white man. All right, you see that now he's starting to feel that. So he's starting to feel that pressure, okay? You know, him being in a lofty state for so long, you know, he doesn't know how to suffer, you know? And that's why now the Lord is going to bring him down to that state where he feels it, you know? And how it feels to really be at the top, all right? Read on, finish off. It says, as a man did flee from a lion, and a bear met him, or went into the house and leaned his hand on the wall, and a serpent bit him.
See, so hey, ultimately at the end of the day, there's no outlets. If the Lord got his sights on you, well, no matter where you go, you're not going to find relief. And ultimately, you're going to be led to death. Pretty much, those all scenarios you escaping, really just to be preserved from those wolves. That's the serpent that's going to bite you, man. You know, but it's going to be a plethora of players the Lord is going to bring a forth upon this place, and we seeing the stars that's leading towards it, man. You see it now. You got to actually consider a famine, a great famine. You're hearing about warehouses and shit running down. Recall this. You know, salmonella that. Shit like that. Oh, the energy grid is stressed out. You hearing shit? You got to consider it now, man.
Shortages caused by gas crisis and shortages caused by terrorists between countries. Wars, yeah, shortage of wheat, shortage of, they just banned some product for all of Sri Lanka or whatever. They gotta make it work without wheat for the next 3 months. Yeah, it's serious.
We just seeing the symptoms to the fall of the empire. These are the symptoms that the Lord told us that we will see, man. We at the end, you know. So matter of fact, you got that? Oh yeah, come.
It says, verse 20, shall not the day of the Lord be darkness and not light, even very dark.
See, because it's not gonna be no glimmer of hope unless you is in this house, man. The pavilion of Yahweh by Shema Shai. Because the elect is gonna see things through the spirit of prophecy. That's why it tells you. Matter of fact, somebody get that. Because prophecy is light. That's how you're gonna be able to navigate through these times of trouble. It's gonna be through prophecy. This truth, man. You know, I think that's 2 Peter 1 and 19, I believe. Because the time we're coming into, it's not gonna be nothing carnal we can do to escape the wrath of Yahweh.
Isaiah chapter 33, verse 6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy time.
See, and wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of our times. That's what's gonna keep us, man, and stabilize us. Because the time we're coming into, it says like not like no other. It says man was on the earth, you know. And these things that's coming on the earth, it tells you with perplexity that these people gonna be fucked up. So a lot of people mind gonna be taken, man, when shit go down. Especially like these pseudo accounts with the MOTV, man. You don't think they gonna really gonna set in for a lot of people, man.
Going to the word protection, goes to the root word of it. It means to be ashamed and not have nowhere to go, nowhere to turn. Really, to be ashamed. That means your doctrine gonna die. Perplexity means you're not gonna have the answer. With each unfolded prophecy, another doctrine dies.
Yeah, that's why I said men's heart gonna fail.
Yeah, men's heart failing them. Yeah, your answers, you're not gonna have a rebuttal in that day. When the power go out, you ain't gonna be able to upload a response video. Hey, there you go again. They're gonna run. They're gonna run, baby. Hey, you know what? That's only for this circle though. That's it. Because everybody else, they just think it's just a siren. But for us and the listeners, we know that that's a token. Right? You can't make this up. The time. Yeah, I mean, come on. Come on, man. Yeah. Well, a priest will come out. Oh, a priest will come right out. Whoa. Yeah, you got it. Oh, you got it.
As we start the topic here, it says, and wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy time and strength of salvation.
See, this is what's gonna contribute to our salvation. Because it's gonna be a precept. We're gonna see that that this word is riches, man. We're gonna see the value of having this truth. If we see it now, you know, just looking at your whole self, whatever, you know, but you're gonna really see it now helping. And all these things take place, these miraculous works, miracles, you know, which that's the spirit, you know, talking about you got to get prepared for miracles and these certain blessings. The elder brother said, the elder brother spoke on it as well earlier today. Because what else? That's going to be your only hope. You just disappear. You just have some food, just wish some food, just that sandwich that I did, you know what I mean? You had to take for turkey sandwich and ham, some shit. Whatever the case may be, man. But that's our hope, though. Because, like I said, that they gonna be dark. What else can you hope for then?
You know, there's not gonna be no more outlet. They're gonna say, well, hold up, I just get a ride to, you know, the supermarket. So you're gonna be reduced to just hoping that the Lord allows something to happen.
Psalms 19, verse 49. He says, remember the word unto thy servant, upon which thou hast caused me to hope.
Woo! See? So the Lord, he's gonna remember the servants, the ones he has raised in his hand to the believers. Those are the ones that they said, cause me to hope. So meaning you had to be built to hope. You had to be it was a certain way wired to believe, man. So those are the only ones that's going to receive what they desire. You know?
And that shows that the words develop hope. It said, remember that word, because it's gonna cause you to hope. When you come into this truth, it's like a stall. You're like a sheep, and you only forced to hope. All right? When you come into this truth, it's not an exit to get 40 hours this week, and that can make things work. No, you're gonna be constantly channeled over to hope. That's what you're gonna be reduced to. Hey, because I'm gonna say something, I'm meditating on this real quick, right? In the spirit. The Lord only gonna honor the prayers of those whose prayers is in his will. See, you're gonna have a lot of people that's gonna be sincerely praying. Lord, please let me get my job back. Lord, please let everything go back. But that's not in his will. His will is for this place to be destroyed. So our prayers is gonna be within his will. Lord, deliver us from the destroy America, Lord, and then deliver us. The Lord said, you know what, that's what I'm gonna do anyway. I am gonna do that. So I'm gonna honor that. When you come with something outside of his will, it's not gonna be answered. So y'all gonna be, all you people gonna be let down. Because you're gonna be praying for things that's outside the will of the Lord. That's why it's important to have the truth. But we're gonna pray for things that's in his will.
Prayer the righteous.
Yeah. And that's that calls you to hope. This word, when you come into it, it causes you to hope that your how about you outside gonna deliver you.
It's Romans chapter 12, verse 2. And be not conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind.
That's it, by the way. Start out with word.
It's back in Romans chapter 12, verse 2.
Shut it off, man.
Romans chapter 12, verse 2. And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind.
So yeah, we had to throw all these different philosophies, ideologies, whatever, everything that this man has presented. Like I said, we not conform to this world, this age. We ain't conforming ourselves to this man. Now you got a mohawk. You in the LGBT protest or whatever, man. You know what I mean? That come with this place. Eventually, you have to do that. You subscribe to this place, man. Yeah, turn your way. That's it. Yeah, because they just said, nigga might say, well, as long as you don't come to me with it, you still agree with it, though.
Yeah.
You know, that means you a homo. You know?
Can I say one thing? Because the scriptures tell you that we are the salt of the world. And if the salt has lost its savor, it said savor, right? Then we're with this shop, really, you know, how's it go with? Basically,
It's good to be trodden down.
yeah, it's only good to be trodden down to the feet of men.
Right,
It's
right.
good for it's good for nothing.
Yeah.
And so if you don't, and then it goes on to tell you about being a light, you know, being a light, putting your light among. So we supposed to shine to a certain brightness,
Right.
and you can't shine to that brightness if you constantly, you know, putting that fire out with everything in this world. This world just quenches your spirit all the time. You know, you go into a certain club, there's gonna be adultery inside of me, everything above, man. You know, drunkenness and everything. But that's the way of this world. Conform means to be with the form. You know, like everybody else. So you actually just gotta be contrary. Let's start with your mind. Let's talk about renewing in your mind. Let's start with your mindset. What are you doing that's just like everybody else? You know, you gotta go through everything, man. Are you celebrating birthdays? What the fuck you selling a birthday for? You know, you get that happy once a year. You know? Or all of these other wicked holidays and ways of life. So all of that you wipe off because that has nothing to do with your salvation.
All it says no slack.
God, and then you turn it back to the Lord with that renewed mind.
Oh, it tells you to cast those idols as a mistress cloth, man. It's a nasty ass red, like good Christianity. That's what we, even just saying JC, make your skin crawl now.
Yeah, I'm talking.
Yeah, that's it.
You can't be like you putting it away and there's a sentimental value to it. Like,
Storing it for later.
you know, you're supposed to fling it away like, get this shit away from me.
Remember Lot's wife?
Yeah, that's it.
She looked back, man, because she really cared about Sodom and Gomorrah. She had some shit there.
Yeah, she was well off.
There was something back there that she wanted, man. And she couldn't
Right.
think of a life without whatever the hell Sodom was providing her. And it was up to the point where she got destroyed for it. Don't let your ties to this society destroy you.
And that falls under the matters of the testimony of the house side. Remember, the Lord said, he that looketh back is not fit for the kingdom. Right? And that what happened in Sodom was a prime example of looking back that could cost you your life. Now, what it means to look ahead, to subscribe to prophecy. That's what it means to look ahead. The prophecy is looking ahead, right? It's not that being a seer.
Yep.
So when you subscribe to this truth, and you make this truth your refuge, right? That's equivalent to looking ahead. Even if you got a job in America, and that's another stumbling block.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people, they think, well, why you here? You know? No, we supposed to be here. Because according to the story, we're going to be delivered from here.
Right.
It's our mind. Or what's that old song? Your body is here with me.
But your mind is on the other side of town.
Tell you, man. Hey, that's what we at with it. And that makes the guy get mad. You thinking about another guy. You know what I mean? He's so mad at us. He's thinking about your house shot. That's our king. Come on.
St. John 15, 17 to 15. It says, I pray not that thou shouldest take them out of the world, but that thou shouldest keep them from evil.
In the world, keep them from evil. That's what you gotta abstain from. That's why you can't just allow your thoughts to overrule and override what you got going on for you in this truth. You got a lot. If you understand the words and breakdowns as they being spoken in the prophecies, you got a lot going for you. You're supposed to just let that go because you know the world. You got something clinged on to the world, man. You gotta be. The scriptures say transform, right? Transform. You gotta be past what the world got to offer, man. Got it.
Come. Hold on. You had a word. Man.
Oh, going back there, Romans 12 and 2, that word perform.
Yeah, cut.
Strong's G, 4964, it says to be conformed oneself, one's mind, and character.
So that's putting on the uniform. This is what you want to hang your head at. Just like going to a team, now you got to know they playbook and shit. You got to put the same uniform. That's what these people have done. They are walking and they seeing things according to as an American, as an Edomite, really, the Edomites. You know, they have that Edomite. You know, so that's that conform. You really been Edomite, assimilated. You know, you watch the Star Trek, the board.
Yeah.
That's what he assimilates you. Now you doing his business and shit. You know, this is more on that.
A little bit more. It
Oh, it
says,
says mine too though, because it starts mentioning it. You got it.
it says to another's pattern, it says fashions oneself.
To another's pattern. So you gonna walk just like he do, you gonna talk just like he do. On all levels, man. Even now you see Jake with eating rare steaks and shit.
Right.
Nigga, he ain't never did that, man. You'll send that shit back, you had, you know, if you went that drunk off Babylon. You know, go back, you can go back to it.
Like in Romans chapter 12, verse 2, it says that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of the Most High.
So that we prove it through the scriptures. That's the measuring stick. What is good and acceptable and perfect in the will of the Most High. What the will of Yahweh Shalom Shai is to destroy America, man. I said that's our hope, man. You know that's like I said, that's part of our prayer. You know, because you send up prayers, you send up curses as well, and America's involved in those curses, man. You know.
This is Titus 2, chapter 11. It says, for the grace of the Most High that bringeth salvation.
Read that again, bro.
Titus 2, verse 11. For the grace of the Most High that bringeth salvation hath
They
appeared
see the
to
grace
all
of the
men.
Most High. So that's this truth. That's what's going to bring that salvation, man. This how the Lord is showing favor by the way of having His word. You got it.
It says, hath appeared to all men, teaching us that.
That all man is not a Moabite, man. Y'all niggas need to stop that shit, man. While they feeding you sesame seed cat, and they getting off on you these different nations, capitalize off your fall.
A Siamese. You know what I mean? That sounds too close to Siamese.
Yeah.
Sesame.
Yes,
Somebody look at origin. So you gonna wait on him, a little Edomite in a lab coat, to come in. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be ashamed of yourself. Hey, even Biden pointing these up. So Biden, that applies to Biden. You bring your little around, he caressing his head. You can't break him out of that. Oh, you got it.
God, going back, it says, you good. Teaching us that denying ungodliness and worldly lust, we should live soberly, righteous.
denying. Read that again.
God says, teaches us that denying ungodliness.
So that's that proving what is good and acceptable as well.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Denying ungodliness, which this is on display now, by the way, as Esau. This the mind of Esau playing out, man. You know? Yep, that's it.
You know that, right? Any type of spirit that think you can just go along with the flow.
Yep, that's it.
You know, I'm indifferent. Or maybe he was black, maybe he was white. Who cares? America's destroying. You can't have no half opinion, man.
Right. You gotta fully commit.
Going back, it said, denying ungodliness and worldly lust, we should live soberly, righteously, and godly in this present world.
See, so that means what? You gotta have a certain outlook, a certain walk. Contrary to this place, man, it's a certain, like the elder brother going to the certain lenses. You gotta have a certain pair of glasses on as you walk through America, man. You know, you got it.
This one says, verse 13, Titus 2 and 13, looking for that blessed hope and the glorious appearing of the great power of our Savior, Yahweh Shah.
See, that's our hope. Return of our Lord Yahweh Shah with this. That's how it delivers at the end of this place, man. You know. So let's get that real quick.
This is 2 Peter chapter 1 and verse 19. We have also a more sure word of prophecy.
See, we have a sure word of prophecy. See, this is sure, man. It tells you the testimony of the Lord is sure, making wise the simple. Because this put us on now.
Right.
We ain't just, we ain't just think about what's going on in his neighborhood and what's going on in his city. The Lord has put us on global affairs and what's going to take place, man. It tells you the secret. Concerning the secret is really the rise and fall of kingdoms, man. You know, the times, you know. So this is a sure word of prophecy. The Lord has put us on what's taking place, man. You got it.
Whereunto ye do well, that ye take heed.
See, that you take heed. Because that lets you know it comes with a sense of urgency. It said you'll do well, so that lets you know danger is involved now.
Right.
You're doing well. That means if you take heed, meaning danger is involved, don't. You got it?
As unto a light that shineth in a dark
See,
place.
so that's that light. That's how you supposed to see things through this light, man. That true light. To navigate, and stay away from the snares and pitfalls of Esau. You know, you got it.
Until the day dawn and the day star arise in your hearts.
See, and that's Yahweh Shai, because everything's going to become clearer and clearer. And Yahweh Shai, ain't going to be no debates when the Lord returns. After that, then, okay, man, you didn't believe the famine or MOTV. You can't believe that now.
Right. That's the exclamation point. Yahweh Shai return. That's the nail in the coffin. It's not going to be, that vocab going to be in the cut somewhere. Okay, I get that, but it's still going to be, okay. Fuck out of here.
All right, well, what did you say, December 25th? How's up? Right.
When scripture speaks about that light as folly, wisdom exceeds folly, light exceeds darkness, man. So ultimately, that's beautiful. Ultimately, everybody gonna get it. And that day, everybody gonna get it. You're gonna learn the hard way, right? But nevertheless, you're gonna get it. Like in the days of Noah. it was a time when everybody got it, you know, but it was at the expense of their life. But they got it. You know what that proves? How about some outside the authority? Like the Lord gonna concede, well, I can convince them. So no, you gonna get it one way or the other, man.
Isaiah chapter 2, verse 17. And the loftiness of man shall be bowed down, and the haughtiness of men shall be made low.
Let's say, so the Lord's going to bring a great humbling.
That's it.
Yeah, but Shema Shai is going to bring a great humbling where he said, those doctrines that you think is right, oh, that shit going to be flying out around them, man. You know? A screen tip. Yeah, doctor stop.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
the doctor stops here. That's serious. And can I say too, and what's gonna contribute? You know what? I'm gonna throw this out there. We in those times. Let's get that out the way. There's no more. We about to come into. We in those times because the power situation is so volatile. It can go out at any time. It don't have to be a necessary formula or certain calculations. Well, it's 5 o'clock now, so no, it can happen, man. But now, with the brother read, when you go to Revelation the 18th chapter, somebody can probably hold that. It goes into what the brother's saying. The Lord is going to combat the pride of you Americans with a heavy spirit of humbleness. He's going to cut off your resources, man. You can't stunt when there ain't no water. See, that's the power we're dealing with here, man. Come on. You want to make a point?
Inflation too, man. You know, money is like the go-to for all of these people out here. You know, everybody talking about the wage gaps and everything. Well, inflation gonna take care of all of that, man. That's where a lot of people get their pride from, having money. The Lord gonna humble your ass. He's gonna humble your bank account first. A lot of Edomites, you know, y'all jump out windows when, you know, y'all jump right out the window when the bank account or the stock fell. When the stock dropped this week, the stock dropped like 800, 900 points. So people got all their money into things that's losing and being devalued every day. It's only a period of time before that's also the humble or the humility beginning, man. Your money is getting devalued before your eyes. How can you stand here and act like everything is normal? And we the crazy ones, right? Guys.
Back in Isaiah chapter 2, verse 17, it says, let's start from the top, and the loftiness of man shall be bowed down, and the haughtiness of men shall be made low. And the Lord, Yahweh, shall
And that's dealing with everybody in this system, man. Because when you read Ecclesiastes, the 10th chapter tells you how, as the ruler of the city is, so is his officers and those who dwell therein. So really, everybody is proud here. Even homeless. Hey, as long as the nigga got access to a 2-for-2, that develops a certain level of, you know, pride. What?
that's being comfortable.
Yeah,
You know, just the brother mentioned earlier, you know, this is their comfort. You know, this is something that these people look forward to every single day, man. You know, but here it is. You know, the Lord now is taking that comfort away from you people. You know, that ability, you know, to have access to, you know, food, you know, what have you. You know, all that's being thrown out the window, man. You know, and like I was going to earlier, right? You know, these things that are happening around the world, you know, these are just birth pains, man. You know, as it continues time, you know, continues on forward, you know, those birth pains get more intense. You know, and that's what you're seeing now. Now those birth pains are becoming even more intense now, man. You know, and that's why now you see an increase of the famine, like the scripture say. All right, you see war still, you know, on the horizon, man. All right, and every single day, you know, America gets closer and closer to war with other nations, man. You know, but that's the Lord bringing about these things to come to fruition, man. You know, but again, and soon, you know, and it's suddenly, you know, when you know, a woman going through birth pains, you know, and the water breaks just suddenly, you know, and that's what's going to happen here in America, man. It's just going to be a sudden, you know, occurrence, man, for lack of a better term. Let's see if I got it.
That's a free stuff. Luke 14:11, it says, "For whosoever exalteth himself shall be abased."
And like we just read earlier, all right? And now the Lord is bringing down those lofty looks and that pride, man. Okay? Why? Because now your bank account is not as big as it was, years ago, or what have you, like I was earlier, right? The stock market, man. These different businesses and things that they got, lined up and saved. All right, now that's disappearing, man. Why? Because the dollar is being devalued every single day, man. To the point where it's going to be used for nothing but toilet paper, man. That's what's going to happen in that time to come, man. All right, when the money completely loses its value, all right, it's just going to be reduced to just a piece of paper, man. Take it, throw it away. Because really ain't no real value behind it anyway, man. Yeah, that was done a long time ago, man. All right. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think it was JFK. But when the dollar was actually, backed by something, something. Now it's like, like Octo said, fiat currency now, right? It's let it be, And that's prime itself. You got different dollar bills. You got, Esau, man, on the face of all of them, man. What do you think that is, man? Yeah.
14 and 11, it says, "For whosoever shall exalt himself or exalteth himself shall be abased."
What would it be? Exalts thyself.
Yeah.
High flower. In his philosophy, evolution.
Right.
Somehow, Dyson Rose, he goddamn people. He fell out on top. That's a sick nigga, man. That's why he gonna be a baby. That's why the nigga got a mighty military. So throw that shit down, man.
Yeah.
You got this.
Hey, the scripture said, "For whosoever." All right, so that goes for Esau. That goes for any other nation that exalt themselves. Mainly our people, man. That's what the Most High is looking at through Yahweh Shai, through the angels. It's our people, man, because those are his people. Those are the ones that he gave his laws and statutes to. All right? You can look for the rest of the nations to be prideful. You really look at it, they got a reason to be prideful. Israel don't, man. Then, like you said, you got a broke Edomite, he could be homeless. You got a Jake pull up in a Beamer or whatever, whatever is on a high level to this world, and that homeless Edomite will still look down on that Jake. What it was, LeBron James? They wrote on his house, nigger.
Oh, one Edomite told LeBron James,
keep dribbling. Yeah. Yeah, Oprah Winfrey, you're right.
Oh yeah, she got.
Oprah
Yeah,
Winfrey.
you remember her? She
got
was out
shamed.
shopping. Yeah. And they was following around the Gucci store, and they told her, "Who are you? What you doing here?" You know what I mean? Yeah, they humble. That was how I smell shot.
That was outside of America.
Right.
A lot of Jakes caught up over Esau is only racist in America. That ain't the case, man. Go
They
overseas.
worse out there, like the motherfuckers Ukrainian,
Yeah.
fucking racist motherfuckers.
They didn't want you to know
Russia,
about it.
oh yeah.
Yeah, Germany too.
You get lost in Russia, man. So bad.
Sport soccer. All right, they throw bananas out there to Jake. It's a whole sport, huge sport. 90 people, 1,000 people. They throwing bananas out there to Jake.
Oh, in China, they showed a clip where Jake was coming off the bus. They said, fucking nigga.
I ain't gonna lie with you. When he said that, first thing came to mind. So hey, if you got that nasty demon within you, which is pride, you're gonna be brought low, man. So the scripture says, "And he that humbled himself shall be what? Exalted." So through the curses, through the situation we've been put in, you've been humbled, man. But guess what? You still got Jake. Conform to this world. Conform to a prideful man world, you're going to have that same spirit on you. That's why we need to say, "Call halal Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai." We got a humble spirit. Because humility starts in the mind.
Right. Humility really is to be taught.
That's it.
That's really humility.
Yep.
Not you acting like
Right.
you
Right.
thinking some of your head, the Lord knows what you're thinking.
Right.
You acting like. Really, humility is to be taught.
Right. Yep. Humility is the form of what? Oh, yeah. Hands up. And another level of humility is putting someone else before yourself.
Right. Yeah, you give to someone else's,
Teaching.
right, advances or
Leaders.
yeah.
Yep.
That's and also can I add
Oh, you
too,
got it.
really when scripture tells you, I think it's 1 Peter 2nd chapter, it says, "Humble yourself under the hand," you get on this side, under the hand of the Almighty. So that means really Yahweh Shem outside the one who Humble smoke. Because you have like some smoking Jakes out there, right? They might not come across as combative. That's why you got to be in the spirit. Because you can think you're in the spirit and you let somebody around you because they appear humble. Right. Matter of fact, give me Ecclesiastes 19. Scripture go into that. Now he got your wallet because you were being simple, man.
Like a lot of these pastors. A lot of these pastors. Church,
Oh yeah.
they got that humble look. You know, I pray for you, sister. What they really doing?
Outward man.
Yeah.
Oh, like,
The scripture don't say it.
yeah, well, even like Terrence, he was soft spoken. He didn't come across as combative, you know. Yeah, he was a raging demon inside.
Exactly.
All right, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, this is the book of Ecclesiastes. Sirach chapter 19, verse 26. There is a wicked man that hangeth down his head sad,
Right, a wicked man that hanging down his head sadly. Go ahead.
but inwardly
Uh-huh.
he is full of deceit.
See, but inwardly he's full of deceit, man. So you can come across with your head hanging down, but inwardly you a damn thief. Furthermore, when you read Colossians 3rd chapter, it tells you how one of the qualities of the elect is humbleness of mind. So that goes into Ecclesiastes, the 4th chapter, where you have to be willing to bow down here to the floor. Humility starts with being taught, man. Hey, because with the naked eye, you can look at certain men amongst great millstones, certain teachers, even the apostles. If you ain't know them, hey, because for an example, we say we got 100% truth. If you ain't in the right spirit, you would say that that's proud. But no, yeah, that's why you got to be in the spirit, man. Okay, I can say.
This one example of
And I'm
humility.
gonna say something though, since we on that. Esau is the proud, man. But
He
be proud. That's right, yeah, because you have a source.
Yeah.
You're proud. You got a source to everything. You good? You got a source to everything.
Yeah, okay.
You have a prototype. Yeah. That's why the scriptures say Israel turned into a degenerate planetary. Why? Because they was. Oh, it tells you that in is that Ezekiel the 17th chapter where they turned their vines toward. Right? They turned their vines toward their oppressor. That means our people have taken after Esau. Yeah, y'all almost got him. Yeah.
And he kind of look he had.
Yeah, proud look. Yeah, that was beautiful. That was beautiful. And it's still there. It's still there.
He was finna get humble.
Yeah.
He was finna get brought low.
Yeah, that's pride. Yeah. Because you feel as if a pit bull can't even chase you.
Oh, what you say by Mike Tyson?
Oh, yeah,
He
yeah.
made that statement.
Yeah, he said he's impeccable.
Yeah,
He can't be defeated.
Can't be defeated. What he say? He can whoop a gorilla.
Yeah, and then Lord had Buster Douglas, a Buster.
Yeah, Buster.
Knock his ass. Buster him up.
So this is a quick example of humility. One example, Acts chapter 8, and I'm gonna start at verse 26. It says, "And the Lord, Shalakia, and the angel of the Lord spake unto Philip, saying, Arise, and go towards the south unto the way that goeth down from Jerusalem to Gaza, which is desert. And he arose and went, and behold, a man of Ethiopia, and Enoch of great authority under Candace, queen of the Ethiopians, who had the charge."
Yeah, and he wasn't an Ethiopian, right? He was an Israelite.
Right.
Yeah, go ahead.
It says, "Had the charge of all her treasures, and
Yeah, so that meant he had status. That wasn't written to sound tough.
Right.
It let you know he had status.
Right.
So if anybody should have been
That's
proud, he should have been proud.
That's beautiful.
He was given charge over her treasury.
Right.
So he had status under her regime, right? So he should have been proud.
Right.
Go ahead.
It says, "And had came to Jerusalem for to worship." Let you know that.
Yep,
You know,
he went to the law.
Uh-huh.
The boys is going back to Jerusalem.
Verse 28. It says, "Was returning and sitting in his chariot."
Yeah, so that means he was on. Yeah, the chariot. So again, he should have been, if anybody should have been proud, it all points to this guy. Go ahead.
It says, reading Isaiah or Isaiah the prophet. It says,
The spirit, he backed it back. He's trying to back it back. Oh yeah, the spirit, yeah. Last week the little boy Ryan
"Oh yeah,
his
Isaiah."
mama hollered out Isaiah. That was spiritual, man. Yeah, go ahead. And that's the same with the Apostle Howard going into Isaiah in the connection there.
It says, then the Spirit said unto Philip, go near and join thyself to this chariot. Right? So the Spirit said unto Philip. All right? And that's humility too. You know, Philip followed the Spirit, man.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah. And that shows that this is hey, that's when you break scriptures down, that's the Spirit saying, speaking to you. Yeah. That actually go back to Habakkuk 2. I should sit upon my watch and see what the Lord shall say unto me. Right.
It says, then the Spirit, that's what I wrote. It says, then the Spirit said unto Philip, go near and join thyself to this chariot. And Philip ran thither to him and heard him read the prophet Isaiah and said, understandest thou what thou readest? All right, so Philip asked him, do you understand what you read? And he said, how can I? This is the point. And he said, how can I, except some man should guide me?
Yep. No man can enter into this unless he's humble inwardly. Because else you're not going to be taught. You know? You're not going to be able, because, hey, one thing, all men have a certain ego. Especially, hey, let's put it in this context, right? You locked up. And somebody else trying to come talk to you. By default, you're going to say, you locked up too, man.
Yeah, give me advice. Yeah.
So that's the same thing. That's how the Lord set it up. Yeah. We in the same condition. We a symbol of the same condition of our people. That's why they look at it like they ain't ready to hearken to us, because they're like, what you got? That's why Jake, they got to see something tangible. They want to see a school or something that convinces them to hearken to you. So, but that's the way Yahweh set it up. And it was set up an effort to rid out the undesirable. Come on, you got something? We're going to get this real quick. We'll go back. Go ahead.
But that show you that we also come in the stead of Yahweh Shai. Okay? Why is that? Because when Yahweh Shai, when he was in the flesh, all right, Jake didn't even want to listen to him. You know?
Yeah,
all people didn't want to listen to him.
Say it one more time.
Oh, yeah, y'all say Yahweh Shai. You know, we come in the stead of him because, why? Because back when Yahweh Shai was in the flesh, you know, our own people didn't want to listen to him, man. All right, why? Because they saw him as a common man. You know?
Right.
He said, look, we know your father, your mother, you know your brothers and sisters, you know? So where you came with all this wisdom, you know? And plus he came out of Nazareth.
Oh, yeah.
Who gave you the he came out of Nazareth. What good thing come out of Nazareth? But yeah, by what authority do you teach it? You know, somebody come and tell you, hey man, pick up that paper right there. You know, man, what the fuck you told you?
They got the word God in the Strong's G3594. It says, to be a God, lead on one's way to God, to be a guide or a teacher.
Whoa, to be a guide or a teacher, man. So the Lord set up teachers, and you gotta be willing to yield to them. That's why the brother said, man, because the Lord built you in such a way to have a humble spirit. Who cares if you see? Because that's a stumbling block. Yeah, you talking about do that, but he humble.
Right.
What you mean he humble? Yeah. If he don't hear the word, that means he ain't humble. He can be soft-spoken and he shy away from contact.
Go ahead. It says to give
guidance.
If
we tell him that the charagma is what it is, and he ain't got to do it for us.
No, he don't.
Combative.
No, he don't.
He can say, well, I don't know.
He ain't got to say nothing.
Yeah, I don't know about that, son. Well, you proud.
All right. So the Most High ain't gonna. What the scripture say? This shall not enter into a malicious soul.
Right.
That's
it.
That's
so
it.
if you can't get this, that means you malicious in the sight of Yahweh.
There you go.
Oh, and furthermore, the scripture speaks about the two sons. One son said, I go to the vineyard. He was all humble outwardly. But the other son said, I ain't going. But he went. Then what the scripture say? Which between these twain did the will of the Lord. The one that actually carried it out.
But you would say the one who,
right?
You would say he was humble. Man, I ain't finna, you know.
Right, and you would have demonized the other brother because he said, I ain't going. But he did it. Charlie Mercer. Yeah, come on.
Mercer, brother.
You got something?
Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
This is Proverbs chapter 8 and verse 33. It says, hear instruction and be wise.
Right, see, read that again.
Hear instruction and be wise.
See, instruction. See, to be instructed, it takes a certain spirit, man. All right? Every man is not willing. Man, that's not a hard saying. Just think back of the guys who might have physically came up to the camp who resisted the spirit, or certain who came up on the comment board and you know, pretty much voiced their displeasure for the word. It was all centered around their unwillingness to hear instructions. Come on, and it didn't say that person was gonna come in a certain spirit. Like, no, he could be a soft-spoken guy. Once again, you know, won't hurt a fly. No, that's just Terrell. He you know, well, always be a mother, you know. He never, and that's the story too. When you hear judgment go forth, he didn't hurt nobody, man. He'll give you the shirt off his back. Like, cross, you see that? The cross. All right, come on.
Yeah, it says, hear instruction and be wise, and refuse it not.
Right, and refuse it not. So you are not, the scriptures encourage you to not refuse this, because what we are conveying to you will very well mean life. It can either cause you to live or die. This, hey, when you come across this truth, man, that's that proverbial fork in the road. Right then, that's it then. Ain't no more excuses, no more cloaks. Your destiny has now been laid out. Once you come across this truth, that's right then, that's it. Yeah, you mark either, it's 2 marks. Right, yeah, either you're going to get that mark of exemption, or you're going to be on the scope. The Lord's going to have you on the scope to kill. And it ranges, you know, from the extreme in age to, you know, your precious.
Okay, it says, blessed is the man that heareth me.
See, this is what makes you blessed, see? And that goes into really being humble. Yep. To hear this word, meaning to hearken to it, that's an act of humility.
Right.
Inwardly. Lord ain't dealing with the outward man. Come on.
Watching daily at my gates, waiting at the post of my door.
Right, watching daily at my gates, waiting at the post of my door. This is an example of that. Okay? Watching daily, that goes into subscribing to the testimony of Yahweh Shai, the spirit of prophecy, which we brought that out last night before last. What's that? 1 Samuel, the 9th chapter, where the prophet is known as the seer. So you see that word watch, see, from a symbolic gesture, right? It's concerning the testimony of Yahweh Shai. They just bullshitting around, you know? Yeah, go ahead,
It says, for whoso findeth me, findeth life.
Right, read that again.
For whoso findeth me, findeth life.
Right, and that links up. Can somebody get that? I think that's St. John, the 14th chapter. I am the way.
14 and 6.
Yeah, get that. And that proves that King Solomon, that's actually Yahweh Shai. What proves it is the authority he's speaking with. For someone to say, whoso find me, find life. Which other prophet said that? Going back to Moses, any of the prophets, which one of them made a hard stance like that? Why Solomon able to make such a cold statement, man? Because that's Yahweh Shai. That's the king of Israel. Oh, in fact, when you read the first chapter, Proverbs, that's the letter, the signet, that's like a heading. You know, if you get a letter in the mail, that's Proverbs, the first chapter, it says the king of Israel. That didn't change. That's the same king, man. All right, come on. You got the same thing?
God, St. John 14:6. Yahweh Shai saith unto him, I am the way, the truth, and the life.
See that? So that's the same thing what Solomon was saying. Go ahead.
No man can come unto the Father but by me.
Right, now let's go back to Proverbs.
Good. Proverbs 8:35. For whoso findeth me, findeth life, and shall obtain favor of the Lord.
See, that's the same thing he just simply said. Whoso findeth me, no man can get to the Father except through me. So that's what Solomon just said. Whosoever findeth me will obtain favor of the Lord, seeing that he's the mediator. Okay? All right, so come on. So you got something to get up there.
This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 6, verse 10. But they that keep holiness holily shall be judged holy. And they that have learned such things shall find what the answer
Right,
is.
and the key word there is learn. All right? So that cancels out just the casual Israelite. You know, you have to be built like that. You have to be designed in such a way where you can actually partake in the council. What good is it to know you're an Israelite but you don't know the will of Yahweh? That's a bad thing. Read that again.
Wisdom of Solomon chapter 6, verse 10. For they that keep holiness holily shall be judged holy. And they that have learned such things shall find what the answer.
See that? Did you get more on that?
Verse 11. Wherefore set your affection upon my words.
Right, set your affection upon my words. And where are the words found? On the streets. First and foremost, the prophets are the carriers of those words. And it extends through the internet. All right, that's the apparatus that the Lord chose for His word to be extended throughout the planet Earth. In the form of these different lessons, these epistles, videos and live streams, those are the words that you are to set your affections upon. Come on,
Desire them, and ye shall be instructed.
Right, desire them and ye shall be instructed, man. Because it's heavy, deep down in your spirit. Your spirit is designed in such a way where it was going to be a point where you're going to be drawn back to Yahweh Shah. And the Lord was going to meet your desires. So, see, deep down you had a desire to know the answers. Deep down you had a desire to know the outcome of this bullshit, man. You knew deep down that this wasn't the be-all and end-all. You knew it was something off about this shit. You knew in your spirit that your pastor really wasn't the voice of reason. It gotta be some kind of Pastor Cleo. She's like, nah, something ain't right with this nigga. All right, go ahead.
This is Proverbs 1 and 23. Turn you at my reproof.
Yeah, read that again.
Proverbs 1 and 23. Turn you at my reproof.
Right, turn ye at my reproof. Matter of fact, look up that word reproof, huh? Let's try to get to the bottom. Because this is what's required of us. It starts with this. And that's a problem with Jake. Jake wants to see flares and dramatics. They want us to put on a fucking firework show for them to believe. We put on a song and dance. Now they say, yeah, well, that's how these fucking frauds is, man. They sit back and see what nigga can shook and jive. They sit back drinking with their friends. I like him. Fuck it, man. Go ahead, huh?
Strong's 8433. Rebuke.
Some nigga with an earpiece on. You know what I mean? He's at the end of the night. Go ahead.
It says correction.
Oh, what?
Correction.
Correction. So you got to be corrected, man. And that's an indictment against our people. Here it is. You don't know who the hell you are, first and foremost. If I was to ask you what's your nationality, you're going to say you're an African American. That's worthy to be laughed to scorn, man. Which that's a valid question to ask someone's nationality. An ambassador will laugh you to scorn. You come up in this president and he asks you your nationality, you say I'm an African American. So you don't know who the hell you are. You got to be corrected. We all had to be corrected. We had to be pointed on the right path. Come on,
It says correction, reproof, punishment, chastisement. On back it says, turn you at my reproof. Behold, I will pour out my spirit unto you.
right, and that's what you're witnessing. The Lord is pouring out His Spirit, man. Not someone saying, I'll pour out my heart to you. Well, the Lord is actually doing that. What else you want from Yahweh Shah? Okay? And it's in the form of us. We vessels. So you take the vessel and you pour it out. And you saturate that dry, and desolate land, which is Israel. Come on, right?
Wisdom of Solomon chapter 12, verse 26. But they that will not be reformed by that correction, wherein he dallied with shall feel a judgment worthy.
Right, so if you're not going to be corrected by it, then what's next? Judgment. And that's not a hard saying. When you don't hearken to whatever instructions, like we mentioned briefly, you get a power bill. That's really, it's a document instructing you to pay the bill. They either have an address on there, they have a number you can reach out to. But if you don't hearken, then what's the penalty? They disrupt your services. Yeah,
Just to add what you're saying, it says it's going to be a judgment that's worthy of the Most High.
Yeah.
So that's the pinnacle. That's the height of that judgment, man. Why? Because you heard the message, you heard the warning, and you didn't pay attention to it. You didn't hearken to it, man. All right, and really that goes to the scripture where it says, "Worst death is the death of a gift of them."
Yeah.
Paraphrase. That's the highest, a shame that you can achieve, man. When it comes to facing the judgment, man. All right. So that's why here, again, it says to them that did not take correction, all right, or reform from that correction, all right. They're going to feel a judgment worthy of the Most High, which really is going to ultimately lead to those missiles, all right. That's the ultimate form of judgment,
Going back to Proverbs 1 and 23, it says, I will make known my words unto you, because I have called and ye refused. I have stretched out my hand and no man regarded.
How did the Lord stretch out his hand? By sending forth the prophets. Because the prophets is his hand. And how did the Lord stretch us out? We all throughout the planet Earth. You can't say you can't escape the vibration of Yahweh outside. His presence is overwhelming. You can go to whatever country that you want. The Lord has stretched his hand out everywhere. Yeah, that's it. His incorruptible spirit. So the Lord has extended a peace offering in the form of the prophet. See? Read that one more time, huh?
Going back, Proverbs 1 and 24, because I have called.
Yep, go ahead.
I have stretched out my hand and no man regarded.
Yep, and no man regarded. All right, so pretty much you took it light. You made light of it. Which when you go into that word despise, matter of fact, go to the blue letter real quick. Go to Proverbs, the 13th chapter, and the 13th verse. Let's go to that word despise. Because when you disregard this word, that means you taking light the King of Kings. How dare you? Here it is, the so-called white man send you a notice, and you on pins and needles. Yeah, you on eggshells. You ready to hearken and concede. But when Yahweh send forth his orders and commands, you disregard them. And it's mainly due to the presentation, because the prophets, the Lord sent forth the prophets as coming men. All right? We don't have a big mega church like Joel Osteen. You got to be out your mind to trust Joel Osteen. Nigga with this permanent smile on his face, man. I'll lock the door. If I seen him come, I'll look at the people. I'll take precautions, man.
They found that money inside the
Yeah, they found a stash. They found a stash in the church. How can you trust somebody like that? Yeah, that was the trap house. Now you can see Joel got a scale. They're good. See Joel with a hooded sweater, man. They're good.
The word despise.
Right. Go ahead.
Strong's H936. It says, hold in contempt. Hold as insignificant.
Hold as insignificant. So when you disregard the word, you're really saying it's insignificant. You're saying when we say that America is going to be destroyed in a thermonuclear holocaust, right? When Yahweh outside visit Esau, you're saying that's insignificant. Or the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American being the true biblical Israelite, when you disregard that, you're saying it's insignificant. So what you think the Lord gonna do, man? He's gonna spring into action. Yeah, come on.
It's Proverbs 1 and 32. For the turning away of the simple shall slay them.
Read that again.
Proverbs 1 and 32. For the turning away of the simple shall slay them.
Right, when you reject this word, that means you're gonna die. There's no easy way to tell you that. Okay? There's a penalty that comes with not hearkening to this word. And that's a 40 cal so well, man. All right. You see that, you're supposed to go the other way. You see him at the gas station, you don't go to that gas station. You go somewhere else. Where any glittering belts and white beaters. Yeah, go ahead.
Proverbs 1:32, it says, for the turning away of the simple shall slay them.
Right, so the Lord is not shying away from the penalty that comes with rejecting the word. Telling you straight up, you're going to be slave. And that's a menacing word, slave. Yeah, come on.
It says, in the prosperity of fools shall destroy them.
Right, that's going to be your destruction, man. All right, you got something? Real quick.
Psalms 58 and 10. The righteous shall rejoice when he seeth the vengeance. He shall wash his feet in the blood of the wicked. So another thing to add is that there's vengeance all throughout the scriptures. And the righteous are looking forward to the vengeance, man. So here you have it. Not only is the Lord going to come and start to deliver his elect, but then he's going to destroy a large portion of his people. That's also written in the scriptures. So the righteous are the ones that he delivers. They're going to be rejoicing at the destruction and the downfall of the wicked.
Right.
Now, let that wash and dry real quick. All right?
Yeah. Yeah, because the Lord gonna visit this place in a wide range of plagues. The power gonna go out here in America. Okay? That lies within the prophetic sayings of the scriptures. Okay? There's gonna be a famine that's gonna lay hold of Babylon the Great. You're gonna have new created creatures. The strange works of Yahweh Shema Shai gonna be manifest. Oh, did y'all see the clip of the zoo? The creature? Yeah, what they call it? Super, yeah, but he was on 2 legs. Yeah. Yeah, he was wandering around the zoo, man. I mean, he was gonna eat something there.
Going back to what he said, all right, it's a penalty for rejecting this word of the Lord. Proverbs 13 and verse 13, it says, whoso despiseth the word shall be destroyed. And that's plain. No need for a breakdown. Whosoever despises the word shall be destroyed. It says, but he that feareth the commandment shall be rewarded. So we're looking for a reward, man. You know, what is that, Ezekiel 33rd chapter? You know, warn the wicked of his ways, and if the wicked don't turn from his ways, what is it, Ezekiel 33 and 9?
Right.
Thou shalt save thy soul, but his blood shall be upon his own head. Meaning what? You heard the warning trumpet, like the brother was going to at the top of the lesson. You heard the warning trumpet, and you act like it was a popsicle truck. See? You heard the tornado sound, and like I said, you went in the middle of the street and started doing jumping jacks. Started doing an electric slide. Yeah. No, bro, but that means danger. And you took it very soft, man. I don't know nobody say, hey, they shooting. And you walk towards the gun. See what I'm saying? Yeah, you started clapping. That's what Israel doing, man. But guess what? We doing our job. Lord willing, we continue to do our job. We getting the blood off of our hands. Meaning what? We going out, we telling Israel, thus saith the Lord. If they don't listen, it's on them. But we've done our job, and Lord willing, we save our own souls.
Hey, can I say real quick, to add the brother point? That's not a hard, you shouldn't marvel at that idea.
Yeah.
Why was you going to Noah? Noah was pretty much threatening the people, man.
Yeah.
Noah was telling the people they're going to die. All right? He was briefing them on the intents and purposes of Yahweh Shema Shai. And the fact that the Lord would visit the old world in the form of a horrific flood. And guess what? It was babies dying in the flood. It was diapers floating. It was old people and they came and floating. They pets. The Lord cold, man. All right, this modern world, this modern world has misrepresented the God of the Bible. But we here to convey his true nature. You got it up.
No. The scripture says, Apostle Paul said, the Most High does not have a what? Respect the person.
Yeah.
When I read Proverbs 13, it says, whoso despise. He ain't say, your grandmama don't, she gonna be all right. Your auntie, she gonna be all right. No, I'm saying, whoso despises them, it don't matter. He ain't got no respect for person.
Yeah, that's right. And the manifestation of the works of the wicked, what's that? Right. That's why you see and this is where wisdom is needed. As touching the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven. There's a such thing as reincarnation, all right? So when you hear about a little baby even being killed by a stray bullet, as tough as that might be hard to digest, that was a work of Yahweh Shema Shai. And guess what? They resisted the word in their past life. They came up against the prophets at some point. So the Lord, he brought them back, raised their spirit up in this lifetime to bring forth judgment. Yeah, and that's far beyond the reasoning and comprehension of mere mortals. Hey, that's why the Holy Spirit has to rest upon you to entertain this book. This is not as of an open and shut case as one might think. Because you did 18 months, right? And you had a lot of leisure time and you read the Bible. That doesn't validate your understanding. All right, come on.
Yeah, just to back you up. The book of Job, chapter 4 and verse 7. He says, remember, I pray thee, whoever perished being innocent.
Right, so whoever perished was never innocent. The Lord is a just power. So when you hear these stories, you know, these unfortunate turn of events, right? You hear these sad stories, someone dying in a horrific car accident. That was calculated, man. Oh, that's what Psalm 68, the issues of death belongs to Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Meaning the Lord orchestrates your death. Go
It
ahead.
says, or where were the righteous cut off?
Right, and the righteous, and you know what? In this lifetime, we won't be cut off. What we read that last night, Proverbs, the 10th chapter, I was going to say, where the expectations of the righteous will be granted. All right, come on.
Now, going back to Proverbs 1 and 25, but ye have set at not all my counsel, and with none of my reproof. I also will laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear comes.
That's right. Like August Reed, man, is that they did not turn towards reproof, man. You know, and this is where the reproof is today, man. All right, on the highways and byways, man, the Lord is bringing out this word, man. Okay, but you know that's the mindset of our people, man. You know, and here it is, we're bringing a message of Yahweh Shem Shah, the Most High. All right, the makers of the heavens and the earth. And here it is, man. It just, you know, they treat it lightly, man. You know, but the Lord got a reward for that, man. You know, it's a reward, but and Scripture going to it over and over again, man. It's always a reward for what you do in this life, man. Because now, the Lord, right now, is bringing everything to his head, man. You know, all the works that's been performed, even going back in the ancient world, man. All the way up until now. Now you got to answer for that, man. Right? And Ecclesiastes tell you that, whether it be good or whether it be evil.
That's it. It works. Scripture speaks about how they're laden with sin. That goes into each lifetime. It's like you're carrying baggage.
That's it.
You know, our people bringing sins that they committed in their past life. Remember, when you read Exodus, the 20th chapter, it tells you how the Lord visit you in the third and fourth generation. Man. Beautiful. Come on.
That's what we saw. That's the book of Hebrews, chapter 3, verse 8. Harden not your hearts as in the provocation, in the day of temptation in the wilderness. When your fathers tempted me, proved me, and saw my works 40 years.
Hey, them same people are back right now, man. You said, you know, you're wondering why certain, like we read in Job, you sit here wondering why certain people got this type of judgment on them, this person got this type of judgment on them. Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah, he was in the wilderness.
Yeah, he was in it murmuring against the Most High, man. Yeah. Now you done came back and you ain't in your right mind. So, by you not being in your right mind, you have no chance for mercy, whether you believe it or not.
Yeah.
You ain't got no chance for mercy. Why? Because you can't understand this truth.
That's Isaiah, that spirit, see? That's Isaiah the 6th chapter.
Oh, yeah.
Where it say, at least they conform and be healed. So the Lord, he dim your eyes. He dull your hearing so that you can't be healed. That show you how cold your Yahweh Shem Yahushua is. See, your book chapter after that pinky ring, shrimp eating nigga. He led you astray, man. He had you think that the Lord was a passive power. When the fact of the matter is, Yahweh, the God of the Bible, is poised to bring forth judgment all the time. Oh, that's in the book of Zephaniah, the 3rd chapter, where every morning he brings his judgment and light.
Right.
Now, come on.
It says, wherefore I was grieved with that generation.
Right. Oh, now that's heavy. That word generation, that goes into generating. So that generation comes back. That's why you have a such thing as deja vu, you know? So these generations come back. Read that again.
It says, wherefore I was grieved with that generation.
Right, but that the Lord was grieved with that generation, even to this very day. That's why the Lord said, cast them out my sight, man. And now we get it. Man, you know when you out, you ready to just go and get what you got to go and just get back. You feel anxiety being around these folks, you know? Go ahead.
It says, it said, they do always err in their heart.
Oh, the scriptures say always. They do always. Yeah, that means whenever they come on the planet Earth, they continue in that legacy, man. Yeah, come. Was you reading that? The Acts 7? You probably get that. Okay, cut. I mean, you ain't got to get it, but that's true. he was echoing that same sentiment, man. Yep, come on.
It says, from the top again, it says, wherefore I was grieved with that generation and said they do always err in their heart.
Right, oh, see, in their heart, proving that this is a mental game. And what contributes to our people's offenses is they're not ever able to get it. They're not able to, hearken to the message. Right?
Some of them, scripture say some fell by the wayside and some fell by the thorns. Maybe the word was with them for a while, and then as they grew, it choked them.
Right.
The thorns choked them. For the cares of this world, be there for a little bit of time. Some men. Right?
Yep. Yeah, true that. Hey, said fell by the wayside. The seed didn't even have nothing to even take root. Woo! Yeah, they didn't have the mental capacity to even get it. That means you stand no chance. Nigga walk up, what this is? You know what I mean?
But, hey, you know what? That's what I was going to say. Some men, when they come in, and there's something about that world that pull them back out. It's more important.
Right.
So you got to digest this truth and understand its importance and priority of everything else. Right?
Yeah, that's true too, because when you in this truth, right, it don't happen initially. You could be around, you could be in the thing 5 years, then all of a sudden the cares of the world start to tug at you, and it affect your decision making. And that, you know what happens? You start to hate the truth. You start to hate the truth. That's what Hausa said, that you can't serve two masters. Hey, because really when you in the truth, you hate the world. If you really in the truth, you hate the world. But if you got something in the world hanging over you, at some point it's gonna start creeping in. You're gonna hate like, damn, man, shit. Goddamn, go to camp. Yeah, the love of the Father. Yeah, that means the love of the Father. You might even go to say, damn, man, you got damn this rough looking shit, man. Fucking need to get an edge up. Yeah, real talk, bro. That means you starting to hate. Yeah, that means you love the world. That means that the world started to creep in and choke you, man. Okay? You got to fully commit to your Yahweh Shem Yahushua. All right, come on. But guess something good. We go back.
1 John chapter 2 and verse 15.
Yeah.
Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world.
So you got to develop a certain disdain for the world. Okay? And that's why, you can tell when the spirit on, brothers, because you rejoice when you hear about the shortcomings of the world. When you hear about the dollar crash, brothers selling, the chest, like the you know what I mean? Yeah, that's it, man. We're rocking things now. We're rocking things. Now you better not say nothing after that. See, we have fully committed to Yahweh, man. That's what it is. But see, at some point, this is a trying process too. You come in this thing for a minute, then it starts weighing on you, because that means you really weren't committed, man. Well, you got
It's like, that's the heat.
Yeah, yeah.
That's that fire.
I remember you running out a while back.
You put something in the oven, it gets hotter and hotter.
Yeah.
And that's what the Lord doing. Oh, also as well, gold. Gold.
Right.
Put it in the fire, take it out, examine it, put it back in if it needs more cleansing, And that's really what it is, You're cleansing the gold and the silver, getting that dross off. But just to add on.
And just to add real quick, what you're saying, you got it. And if you're not the gold, then you're gonna not want the fire. You don't want no part of the fire. Yeah, at some point, you're like, no more of this. Yeah, fall out. I don't want no more of this. I ain't built like this. It's coming.
I believe Apostle Paul spoke about it. He said that fire is going to try you, right? It shows, a man is right. Like I was reading, right? Just add another point. Is that it says, them that love the world, the love of the Father is not in them.
Right.
All right? Now, when you go into the scriptures say that Yahweh Shah is the maker of, starting with son Yahweh Shah is the maker of the world. but when you go into that word world there in that scripture, that word there is the cosmos. You know? So not only is it talking about, you know, this current world that we're living in today, which is a miracle, but also it means to not be involved, you know, with 2/3 of our people. You know, because they're you really look at it, it's a world. Kind of spirit. Yeah, but even Israel, you know, 2/3, you know, they're in the world in themselves, man.
Yeah, and that's a great point because that's really your family and friends. The 2/3 is the same way to the world. That's what saying way to the world. So that word cosmos right there is dealing with, that's like a bridge, you know, because once you associate, align yourself with them, then really you're technically in the world. So really you have to hate, you know, your family and friends. Now, not to the point of, you know, you kick in the door, but that goes into what Yahweh Shah said, remember? He that not hated, that means you have to abhor it. You know, you have to refrain from it. Because what? It's your family and friends who present Thanksgiving dinner to you. It ain't really just somebody outside. It's your family and friends who present the idea of, you know, coming back into the world. They always got their door open for you. All right, you got it.
Lord pretty much commanded Abraham to pretty much leave from his father's home.
Dominion.
That's it.
Dominion, come on now. Come on now, man. I got precept. I'm the mother of all.
Ecclesiastes chapter 6 and verse 15. It says, whoso giveth ear unto her shall judge the nations. It says, and he that attendeth unto her shall dwell safely. Now her is speaking about wisdom. It says, if a man commit himself unto her, he shall inherit her.
What's your nationality?
My nationality.
Just curious.
I like Eastern European.
Okay. All right.
Ecclesiastes 6.
All the signs of a criminal, man. Just tell us straight up. You're going to be a so-called Jew, man. Yeah. That might come out to Tel Aviv. Like, you go to Tel Aviv, you see a guy, a travel guy, he on the motherfucker.
Ecclesiastes chapter 6 and 16. If a man commit himself unto her, and that's what we're doing, man. We commit ourselves unto Sophia. It says, he shall inherit her.
That's bad. Yeah, commit, man. You have to commit unto her. You can't have one foot in the grave. You have to be fully in. And you know what? Being fully in, it comes with certain requirements. You have to move a certain way. You have to make sacrifices. You have to do certain things. You can't just be like, nah, I like it this way. No, you might be met with something that say, okay, like the Apostle Ricardo was going into. Brother might tell you to run me to LA.
Yeah, that's true.
Then what you gonna do now?
Go the extra mile.
Yeah, you got to go the extra mile. At some point, you got to prove that you're in the truth. And the Lord do that. The Lord bring up scenarios to see and to show it to what the fuck you about. Yeah, go ahead.
And that's also humility too. That's humility.
Yeah, great point.
You know what I'm saying? You going the extra mile for a brother. Meaning what? You put a person before yourself, which is not just a person, but a brother before yourself. And that's right.
Could be of the elect. Yahweh Shah did.
That's it. Hey, real talk. Go ahead.
Colossians 3 and 12.
Yeah, the West, man. The West crazy than the motherfucker.
Somebody get Philippians chapter 2.
Yes, Colossians 3 and 12 is back up. Put on therefore as the elect of the Most High.
Yep. That's one of my favorite scriptures right there. Because it's telling you to really mimic, emulate. Because you got to try to do whatever is pleasing in the sight of Yahweh Shah. Now, what's heavy about this idea is in this lifetime, the Lord didn't ask for much. He asked you to believe, He asked you to teach, and hold fast to the. He didn't put the burden, the yoke of you keeping the laws, which the law intricate, man. Then you ask about it, going to the intricacies of the law. You know, we was to actually really quiz you about the law.
And then why the scripture
You
says,
might get offended and be like, hey, yo, you might go back to church.
and then why the scripture said the letter killeth,
Right.
and the spirit giveth life.
Spirit giving life.
The letter is what? The law.
Right.
That's what Apostle Paul said. I wouldn't know sin from the paraphrase until I knew the law, man.
Yeah. And see, we acknowledge that the law is good.
That's it.
Because we know whenever you I ain't gonna say beat yourself up because you don't really want to do that. But whenever you acknowledge your offenses as that, that's a requirement. What's that? Hosea the 5th chapter. Really, you acknowledging that the law is good. When but a motherfucker who say, I'm highly favored in faith, that means you saying the law don't have no weight.
You do the superseded the law.
Right, yeah. You don't even consider it.
Right.
Well,
Going back, it says, put on therefore as the elect of the Most High, holy and beloved, bowels of mercy, kindness, humbleness of
bowels
mind.
of
humbleness. It's like
No, go ahead.
humbleness of mind. That's the point. See, that's one of the qualities of the elect. Humbleness inwardly, and that goes into being willing to be taught. Who cares how soft-spoken you is, but you haven't been briefed on the report? Fuck, that gonna benefit you. Because through carnal lenses, right, through the naked eyes, plenty of guys you can say that's humble. I know guys right now that speak that's soft-spoken.
Yeah.
Well, heard a fly.
Yeah.
You good as gold.
It says meekness and long suffering.
Yep. Hey, meekness and long suffering, which is what? Humility, man. Long suffering with your brother, like Elder said, man. Brother might ask you to take me to Elder. First he said, take me to Texas. You get to Texas, you know what? I need to go to LA.
Yeah. And I need you to take me. Yeah, we watching that happen. Man. I know his brothers done did that for me, man.
Yeah.
My brother take me all the way to out of state, man.
Yeah.
Brothers did that for me,
Right.
And even if it ain't that extreme, brothers just do little things. That comes with being in the truth.
That's it.
That's a trial phase, man.
That's it.
Because you can either just come out here and get precepts and then go back into your little world, but the Lord's gonna eventually, call you out on it. Come on. Oh, you got something?
Yeah. Got that Philippians? Started 2.
Philippians 2:2. It says, fulfill ye my joy, and ye be like-minded, having the same love, being of one accord.
See, having the same love, being of one accord, meaning what? In unison. You know how they say in the world, everybody in uniform? Meaning what? Everybody in unison as one. Go ahead.
Of one mind.
Of one mind. And what's that mind, keep reading?
It says, let nothing be done through strife or vainglory.
Right, keep reading.
But in lowliness of mind,
humility. Go ahead.
let each esteem other better than themselves.
That's like we were just going into. Like the brother just said, man. That's humility, man. Now, who showed that perfect act of humility? We read in Acts the 8th chapter. The Spirit told Philip to go to the Ethiopian Enoch. And the Ethiopian Enoch said, "What? How can I let some man guide me?" That's a example of humility. We go on to another example of humility, putting one before yourself. Who showed us this? Go ahead.
It says, look not every man on his own thing.
Yeah, look not every man on his own thing, meaning what? Just don't be concerned about what you going through. Go ahead.
But every man also on the things of others.
That's putting on as the elect, man. That don't mean think about your cousin and what he going through. Damn, man, shit, uncle going through. No, bro, those are of the body.
Right. That applies to this circle.
That's it. What is it? Saving of the household?
Yeah, because a Christian will pull that out.
Right. And say you're supposed to feel that way by Edomite on the corner with a sign. Go ahead, up.
It says, let this mind be in you.
Let this mind be in you. Go ahead.
Which was also in the Mashiach Yahushua.
See that? So that's walking in the footsteps of Yahushua. Because that's the mindset that Yahushua had. Yahushua easily could have been like, man, you know what, man, I ain't finna go up on that cross, man. You know what I'm saying? I came from a godly state. I got all powers in my hand, which is in heaven and the earth that was given from the Most High. But what did he do, man? He went a couple steps further from the disciples, right, and asked the Most High to take that cup away from him. What did the Most High do? Ignore him. So he knew he had to go through it, man.
And can I say too, that adds to the point I was making earlier about if you're not praying to the Lord concerning what's in His will.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. That's not the.
Yeah, that even happened with Yahushua.
Yeah.
So Yahushua sent up a prayer that wasn't in the will of the Lord. Love and God.
No, buddy.
So that's going to happen if you keep outside of this circle. Right. You're going to be praying for your job to get back, where it was. America to get back. Lord, that ain't in my will.
Right. Go ahead.
It says on Ephesians
Read,
2 and
read,
6.
read that verse again.
Ephesians 2 and 5. It's like Philippians 2 and 5. Let this mind be in you, which was also in Mashiach Yahushua.
All right, what is that? Corinthians, 1 Corinthians, when it says we also have the mind of Yahushua. That's having the mind of Yahushua. Like the brother gave the example, what brothers have done. That's having the mind of Yahushua, man. That's showing humility, man. That's an example of humility. All right, showing that you, what that's putting on as the elect, showing that you care for a brother other than what you're going through. You put your, not saying that you just to your problems, no, but you think about your problems, sit down and help a brother out with his thing too, man. That's the mindset that Yahushua had. That's why he put himself upon the cross, because he was thinking about the sins that Israel had committed, and he put himself upon the cross to die for the elect. Therefore, the whole nation can be saved. That's showing humility, man, because Yahushua, everything that we want to learn and everything that we want to teach, it's Yahushua, man. And that's what Yahushua did. Go ahead.
It says, who being in the form of the power, thought it not robbery to be equal with the Most High.
See that? Thought it not equal to be with the Most High. He thought it not robbery, man. That's showing another example of humility. Why? Because he come from a godlike state, man. But he, matter of fact, keep reading. You already know what I'm talking about.
It says, but made himself of no reputation.
See, but made himself of no reputation, man. See that? Look at that word reputation, somebody. But keep reading, huh?
It says, but made himself of no reputation, and took upon him the form of a servant.
See that? Another ultimate.
That's human.
Another ultimate.
You know what? That's beautiful. They're going to the parable I brought out about the two sons.
Oh yeah. Said that. Yeah.
Who would not go out into the vineyard. One of them said they would not go, but he went, and the other one said he would go, but he didn't. You know, to be a servant, that's being humble. Because you can say all this, you with the Lord, but if you ain't doing what he told you to do, if you're not laboring, then really you're not humble.
Not humble.
Because being a laborer is being a servant is being humble.
That's it.
I want to be humble.
What's that, bro?
I want to be humble.
You want to be humble?
Yeah.
You believe in the Bible, right?
I believe in God.
Be careful what you ask for too. You
Yeah.
want to be humble.
So the reason why I stopped here,
Okay.
I've seen you guys before, years ago, and I have a brother, a co-worker, he's a Muslim,
Okay.
and I just really don't know what to believe, man.
Right.
He's a Muslim. I think that you guys are Israelites.
Right.
So I've been learning from him. I just read Message to the Black Man
Right.
from Elijah Muhammad. I read it completely.
It didn't make no sense to you, huh?
No, it made
Oh,
a lot of sense
Okay.
on a racial term.
See, you know what that would be considered as conventional wisdom. That's why I made sense, because it's conventional wisdom. Now, what the brother finna do through the Spirit is give you the supreme wisdom. See what I'm saying? Because what we're teaching is the supreme wisdom. That's of man when he's talking. Anybody could have thought about that.
Okay.
Anybody can just, real quick, anybody can look over the landscape and look at period pieces and see how the so-called white man has done us and conjured that in their mind. You could have done that, bro.
Right. Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What I want right now, I want to be able to contact you guys later.
Okay.
So can I write something down?
Oh yeah, you got a YouTube channel. You got a YouTube channel. You go into like in-depth lessons. You know. Somebody get somebody. You gotta get them come to the YouTube channel. Somebody, you read? You got something? All right, come on.
It says like Galatians chapter 1, verse 6. It's like Galatians chapter 6, verse 1. Brethren, if a man be overtaken in a fault, ye which are spiritual, restore such an one in the spirit of meekness, considering thyself, lest thou also be tempted.
Right. Yeah, because we have situations where, the brothers, you restore them with meekness. But, the key point there is you got to be a brother, man. Yeah, it has to be a brother. And because we all at the mercy of Yahweh Shemel. Yeah, go ahead.
Verse 2, it says, bear ye one another's burdens, and so fulfill the law of Yahushua.
Now what it is, the Lord put you in a situation where, yeah, that's right. You have to bear each other's burdens. And the Lord, beautiful. He don't actually do it 24/7, but it can be just one time out of 3 years. A situation come up where you can hold a brother down, and that's your point. That's your time. Right. That's how bad the Lord is. He gonna test the metal and the sincerity of each and every one of us. Right. You know. So I'm gonna say something real quick too, brother. A point. I mean, a statement you made about us being Israelites. I'm gonna say you're an Israelite too, brother. Because an Israelite is a nationality. Because we're not blacks. You know, I'm pretty sure like if you had an application and you had to fill out your race, what you'll put black. That's not a nationality, that's a color. So the Israelites, when you read the scriptures, will understand it. For an example, let's leave the brother with this. Go to Deuteronomy 28 chapter real quick. I'm gonna just give one.
And see, that's one thing I know is I met you guys before. Y'all know the Bible. Okay, come on, I know this.
Yeah.
Y'all know it.
Yeah, call out y'all best.
I was just gonna say that. Call out y'all.
The Spirit of the Lord.
It ain't us.
Yep.
It's the Spirit within us. Yep.
Right? So I want to get something real quick where you can tie our story with the Bible. All right, come on. Deuteronomy 28 and 68.
Hey, can I ask you a question, bro? Do you see yourself on this side? Like this would be it would be the biblical nationalities, and this what these people would be today.
Negroes,
There you go.
West Indians, Haitians, Dominicans, Mali, Puerto Ricans.
So which one would you classify as? So-called Negro.
See, the thing is, if I was to say Negro, okay, hold on. That's a name that they call us.
That's why we got so-called.
We ain't called ourselves
Yeah,
Negro.
that's why we got so-called.
They called us Negro.
That's why I say so-called.
Right.
Do it say
So-called.
so-called?
The so-called. The so-called.
Right, so this our true, yeah, that's what they call us, but this our true nationality. So you would be of the tribe of Judah.
It's in here. Look,
Yeah, because what they do,
it's in here.
yeah, what they do, they take from the Bible.
I figured.
What they do, they validate the
do.
Bible because they always quote from the Bible.
And you hear Farrakhan's speeches?
He always quote the Bible.
I never hear him quote out of the Quran, bro. That's just me now. I don't,
Okay.
say, you know,
That's true.
I never heard this man quote out of their own book, but he always quoting out of the Holy Scriptures.
Okay.
Yeah, and there you go, starting with Malcolm X, all the way down to Louis Farrakhan. He says that we are the Israelites. So, what if you would say that or make a statement like that? Why wouldn't you convert to the book that tells you you're an Israelite? You see,
And they know that we the Israelites too.
you see the hypocrisy
They
of that,
sold
bro?
out. Which that word Farrakhan, if you break it down, it goes into excite, into excite. No, he do Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
He was just set up to stir things up.
Okay. Now,
We're gonna read this real quick.
Okay.
Go ahead. Let's do Deuteronomy 26.
Glad I ran into
Yeah,
y'all.
book of Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 6 to 8. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
With ships. So the Lord promised in prophecy that he'll send us over here to Egypt in ships because we transgressed his laws, statutes, and commandments. So what people came over to America in ships? Our people. So the Bible said it. We didn't write this, we didn't conjure this up. Now the reason why the Lord called it, you're not going to see the word America there, but the word Egypt is there because it's symbolic to America being the place of our captivity. But when you go into research, America is actually a replica of Egypt. Case in point, when you go to ancient Egypt, it was a river that flowed through Egypt, which was where the Nile River. In America, you have what? The Mississippi. In Egypt, 70% of the land was west of the Nile. In America, what's 70% of the land west of the Mississippi? And 30% is east of it. In ancient Egypt, there was a city on the Nile was known as what? Memphis. In America, you have a city on the Mississippi as what? Memphis. And it got a pyramid there.
And what? And I've had the, I ain't gonna say a luxury, but I've actually been up in there just to see what it was about.
Me too.
Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah, you got it. Why is that? Why is it Egypt relics on here? Because this is that Egypt that the scripture was speaking about. So we will wake up at some point in this captivity, right, through the Spirit. And the Lord has certain clues there that we can tie the dots. So this is the most powerful book on the planet Earth. But it has been promoted in a light through Christianity in the modern sense of the word. Guys with suit and ties, our enemies claiming taking this book to themselves. And it's somewhat distorted the clarity that comes with it, man.
Christianity, that's a white man's
There
religion.
you go, bro.
Okay?
brother.
It's not my religion.
Right here, brother.
But I was
There it is
brought
right
up
now.
in that,
There it
man.
is. But see,
Okay?
that was
And
the
it never
point.
made sense to you.
Okay, let me
You-
say
that-
this.
that was what you was
Let
talking
me
about. Go
say
ahead, bro.
this. When I was a child, okay, I grew up in a Catholic church.
Whoa.
Man.
Okay, a Roman Catholic church.
Right.
And so I was told that I was a Roman Catholic. And then when I grew up, I realized, wait a minute, hold on. I'm not from Rome. I don't speak Italian. Okay? What I got to do with them folks?
I would have taken those little dots.
Why
That's
do
all I'm
I
saying.
call
I would have
myself
taken
a
them little
Roman
dots.
Catholic?
That's true. Be on the road through
Ain't got nothing to do with them folks.
That's equivalent to saying I got a lump on my breast, you know?
I need to
Now
go.
you can be helped.
Okay?
Yeah.
So I grew up in a Catholic church.
Right.
They're not my people.
True,
That's
bro.
right,
And I realized that. And in my age now, I'm 64 years old. I'm trying to find my identity.
Ooh!
Here it is,
There
right
you
here,
go,
bro.
bro. You just found the
Yeah,
water.
you just found
And I'm going to say something to you, brother. We be out here every week, Lord will. Come out here and eat.
Right here.
Right here. Spirit
Every
of God.
Saturday?
Every Saturday starting at like 3 o'clock. You know, just be out here, come out here and eat, bro. Because that's what's happening now. That thirst from our people, that certain spirits, the Lord promised he would saturate. Can we get that in Jeremiah? Right? And somebody get Isaiah 55. Salaki. Yeah, you got to come on.
We talked about, you're searching in your older ages, which is parallel to how the men of the Bible, Israelites felt during captivity. It says, this is Psalms 53 and 6. Oh, that the salvation of Israel will come out of Zion. When God bringeth back the captivity of his people, Jacob shall rejoice, and Israel shall be glad. So along with not knowing who we are is being in captivity.
How can any of us know who we are when we were slaves for 400 plus years, and then we had a child? You take the child and put him over to another slave plantation. He don't even know who his mom or his daddy is.
It's almost impossible, right?
It's impossible.
Except with the Father,
So
nothing is
this I know.
You heard me though, right?
Yeah, I heard you.
With the Father, nothing's impossible. So he gonna lead his children back. Turning back to captivity means freedom. So we're gonna get restored, whether it doesn't make sense or not.
Okay.
You know.
One more thing. I need to
Can I say something real quick, brother, before you say something? Just that point. Those calamities even serves as a point of hope. I'm gonna show you. Give me Jeremiah 17 and 4. Real quick. You got it?
Yeah,
All right, come on.
Jeremiah 17 and 4. He saying, "Thou even thyself shall discontinue from thy heritage."
Right. So the Lord promised we were going to discontinue from our heritage. See? Go ahead.
That I have gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies.
Right, and that's our enemies is the so-called white man. It's well documented. The Lord said he's going to cause us to serve. You got to remember, we offended. See? Go ahead.
I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not.
Right, we know nothing about this land we got here. We was groomed under our enemies, and he pretty much shaped and fashioned us to what we have today. That's why we have our people following the customs of the so-called white man. But now we're in a heavy time.
Okay, I got one more question.
See that?
See, I'm ready to.
Yeah, you see that? He ain't cut.
Yeah, demon days, man.
I read this real quick. That was a good question. And the illustration that you gave too, bro. But this is the way that you come back to you knowing who you are, because you're right. That did happen. You know, you had children, you was carried to this plantation, the Jones plantation, the Thomas plantation. But in these days,
400 years.
that's right. But look, in these days, the Most High said through his prophet Jeremiah 3 and 15, this is one scripture to answer your question. It says, I will give you pastors where, according to mine heart. All right, so just to break it down a little bit, meaning what? He was going to set up men, which is pastors, not just the conventional pastor you see in the church. The word pastor goes back to prophets. So he was going to set up prophets, and those prophets weren't going to be in a building. They was going to be on the street corners. See what I'm saying? In the chief place of concord that the scripture speaks about. Real quick, it says, I will give you pastors according to mine heart. So you got these men set up according to the Most High's heart, through his only begotten son, Yahushua. It says, which shall feed you with knowledge and understanding. So they're going to give you the know-how and the understanding with that know-how for you to know who you are if you can receive it. That's how we was going to come back. See what I'm saying? And we went through that earlier. But your spirit got to be willing to receive it. And how you going to be willing to?
So like, and it was going to be through an unconventional way. See, in the flesh, being in America, being in this system, you're driven by believing that you're going to come back through building your community or something tangible. You know, having a bank set up. You know,
Like Black Wall.
yeah, Black Rock, but it was going to be in a subtle form through something as subtle as wisdom. All right, being brief on who you are. But it requires faith. That's why that word faith is thrown around in the Bible, because you got to believe the report once it's presented. All right, so you got a question? Come on.
You guys call God Allah. No.
Well, there's some truth to that.
What I've been learning from a co-worker of mine, he says that Allah is God.
Yes, sir. Which means power.
That's just a title.
Yeah.
But God has a name, which his name is Yahweh.
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 Wait, Yahweh.
Say it again.
Yahweh.
Yahweh. And his son's name is Yahweh Shah. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. That's the name of the true powers of heavens and earth. See? I'm telling you, man.
Can you receive that?
See, this is
receive
spiritual thing.
Can you receive that?
He was like, well, what?
Can you receive that?
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
It means he exists. He is to be. He is. It means he exists. Because he has no beginning or end.
Nah.
That's his power. That's his, amongst many other things. He's an ancient of days.
Right, Ancient of Days. Yeah.
And his son's name is Yahushua. Which means, hold up, which means Yahushua means he delivers or he saves.
And who need to be delivered or saved?
Us.
There you go.
There you go.
Us.
Who's the
So that's why the Bible really makes sense to our story.
Right here, bro.
Our story only can be matched with the scriptures.
Yahushua.
Pointed that out.
Yeah.
Look, come on, no problem.
Go ahead.
When I was a child,
Okay.
growing up in Tuskegee, Alabama.
My brother's from Tuskegee,
Right
right?
there. You got a Tuskegee.
Oh, you from Tuskegee?
Yeah. You got a Tuskegee in right there.
Okay, look. Look,
Go ahead. Yeah, might be.
let me say this. Y'all listen. All y'all listen, okay?
Hey, real talk, huh?
Hey.
Real talk.
I went to Tuskegee University.
Oh, man.
Okay,
Oh,
2 years.
Youngster.
Okay. Damn, bro. Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
shit. Hey, hey.
I was born in John Andrews Hospital. You heard of that? But it's closed now. John Andrews Hospital, Tuskegee. But look,
Spirit got to be on.
dang, now y'all got me off of what I was trying to say. Oh, okay, so when I was growing up in Tuskegee, my mom, she was a nurse. She graduated from Tuskegee. It was Tuskegee Institute then.
There you go.
It's Tuskegee University now. Okay, she was a nurse, and so she would take me and my brother, and as she would go to work, she would send us to different neighborhoods. She would send us to different people in our neighborhoods who I'm gonna get
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
I'm gonna get everybody's attention.
Yo, we hear you, bro.
Okay, so I was like maybe 6 years old. Between the time I was 6 and maybe 12 years old,
Right.
my mom was a nurse, and at the time she had to have people pay the neighbors in the neighborhood to babysit us while she go to work. Look, every house that we went to, me and my brother, in the living room, you would have a picture of Jesus Christ. Okay? The picture of Jesus Christ always had blue eyes and blonde hair. on every house that I grew up in.
Go ahead, bro.
What's up with that?
Yeah.
It never looked like
Right.
other than that. Like I say, every house on our neighborhood that my mom sent us.
Yeah, matter of fact, let's get that out. Yeah. Yeah, can I say too, brother? That was strategic. Because think about it, once you conquer a people, right? You people on that side, those who conquered us. Hey, now you see this guy at the top? That's the guy. That's the same guy right there. There's such thing as reincarnation too. All right. That's why you got to continue to come out here and be fed. But I'm gonna say something to you real quick, bro. That was a strategic move because think about it. When you conquer a people, you subdue them. You can't say
You think that you're better than them.
right.
Now hold on. Cicero Bulgaria. He was hold on. He was somebody's dad.
Son, Pope Alexander.
Right. I forget that. I know that name though. I know that name. Y'all forget.
Yeah, the side.
You good.
Yeah,
He Cicero.
yeah, sons of Red Boys.
He I know. He had the Pope or paid the Pope of Rome to paint a picture of Jesus Christ as a white man with blonde hair and blue eyes. Am I wrong or right?
Say it one more time.
Cicero Borgia.
Caesar or Cesare Borgia.
He had the Pope
Uh-huh.
paint a picture of God
Rodriguez.
as a white man
under Father
with
Rodriguez.
blonde hair and blue eyes.
Yeah, on his father, Rodriguez
Am I
Borgia.
close?
Yeah, you're right. Rodriguez Borgia, that was his father's name. His father
Yeah, you
did.
had what's called iconoclasm.
Mhm.
That goes into the scripture. Somebody give me that in Maccabees. You got to bring it up.
First Maccabees 3 and 48, and laid open the book of the law, wherein the heathen had sought to paint the likeness of their image.
See, they sought to paint the likeness of their image. Read that one more time. Right here.
First Maccabees 3 and 48, and laid open the book of the law, wherein the heathen had sought to paint the likeness of their image.
Right, it's a psychological overtone coming to showing you pictures because you tend to believe it. Give me what you got real quick.
God, this
Hey,
is Joe.
Can I say it real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Now, don't this guy look just like that guy? All right, or similar? If not, see?
That we're supposed to believe in.
I mean, we have believed it for several years through deception. And this is shit. The deception done by the eye.
That's a stronghold. That's a stronghold that's being broken.
Just came to me.
My bad. Visual deception. That's what I was trying to say. Go ahead.
What language is our original language?
Hebrew language. Hebrew language.
The Arab language required from you. That's why the
Aramaic, that's one of the earlier terms of it.
Any of you guys know that?
Yeah. You know the Hebrew up there.
we just gave it to you in the name.
The name, yeah, we speak the Hebrew up there.
I mean, if
So we return to our nationality, you know?
would do any of you actually know the whole language? Can you see them and
Yeah, but see, it's different principles to the English and then the Hebrew. For example, in the English, it's like a forked tongue. You can say, I don't know about this, but you ain't gonna get all that in the Hebrew. It's gonna be to the point, you know?
The person asks you, hey man,
Yeah,
you
your
coming
name.
over today? Yeah, I might.
No, that's in the English.
Probably. That's in the English.
Now we returning to our heritage, so brothers don't fool. There's a few brothers up there as well, more versed. Like this brother, more versed in the Hebrew. He actually teaches a couple of Hebrew classes, you know.
Yeah.
Certain brothers out here that speak. But we can send up prayers. We could send up curses.
say to me, I love you, my brother.
Good, thank you.
Because, you know, I said, "Father, I thought I wanted to learn a second language, and I was thinking about learning Spanish, but then I thought, why would I learn Spanish? That's not my teacher.
Can I say this, brother? Now, what that brother just gave you is the original Paleo, as it's called, ancient Hebrew.
Ancient Hebrew.
The Lashawan Kodash, the pure
Pure
language.
tone.
Right? Now, what you got out there in this world is the Yiddish, right? Which is what, German, a little bit of Hebrew.
Right. That's equivalent to Hell Hydra.
There you go. Some shit like that.
You know, yeah, but I'm gonna keep continuing on it. Let's go ahead and let's get this real quick. Go get it.
This is Job chapter 9 and verse 24.
It's time to start doing the Edomite, you saying this. Hell Hydra. Fucking man. Hell Hydra. I got that off Captain America. Yeah, Captain America. Yeah. Come on.
It says, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof.
Right, see, he covered the faces of the judges thereof. So the so-called white man is guilty of that offense. He covered the faces of the judges. That's why you see images of the Heavenly Father depicted as the so-called white man. His only begotten son, the angels, our forefathers and patriarchs of the Bible, Abraham, the so-called Negro, black men. You know, I'm just saying it.
And Google Russian icons and see
That's what, yes, that's it.
images was whitewashed, painted
Right.
over to add to your inferiority complex that's be developed over here in America.
That's right. There's a psychological overtone to it.
Okay.
When it plays on your psyche.
If God is white, then then we gotta be like him.
And the Mormons teach that shit, like the so-called black man is cursed. You know? Yeah. Yep, go ahead. That's why you see our people. Oh, they show you that in Malcolm X, where they start straightening their hair. They're trying to look like Edomites, perms, you know, when really that was Esau was really promoting that to take you away from who you are, so you want to connect the dots. Because when you read the scriptures, it tell you how the Lord had woolly hair. This image right here is an accurate depiction of the Lord. All right, come on.
Look out. He covered the faces of the judges thereof.
So the so-called white man covered the faces of the judges. And it don't start and stop with frescoes and busts or painting. No, it spills over the movies too. That's why, like, if you see, if you see, like, Noah, he's a so-called white boy. That was a calculated move. Right?
If not,
real quick, and that goes to that what I was saying earlier, that visual deception. That's what he gave you, visual. He tricked you with your eyes.
Right.
What it says, seeing is believing, like they say in the world. So if you've seen that, you ain't got no choice but to believe it because you was never taught any different.
Yeah,
you know?
somebody dangling keys in front of you while they going in your back
You know what I'm
pocket.
saying?
Right.
it says, if not, where and who is he?
Right, so if it ain't the so-called white man, where and who is it? That scripture's been somewhat facetious. Because the so-called white man had to influence the resources to do that. And he did it.
Yeah, he did that.
Yeah, the Renaissance,
Yeah,
he did that.
Yeah, the Chinese ain't do that.
Yeah, the Chinese didn't do that.
Everybody got a phone number.
But I'm going to tell you what this do. You got that YouTube channel?
YouTube, Great
Brett Millstone? Okay. All right, and you can correspond, you can send messages, but your main thing, bro, you want to be out here every week. Because the Lord about to get ready to shut down our place of our captivity too now. That's a part of the story. The power going to go out here. The Lord going to drop. The food's going to have what's known as scarcity of, what you call it?
y'all gonna be out here.
Yeah.
Going willing, yeah, we will.
And there's gonna be
Starting at 3
There's
o'clock.
going to be a famine.
Railroad Park.
That we say that so 3 o'clock, it can get your attention.
Railroad Park.
Yeah. Just write famine down.
Yeah.
Write that down. That's gonna get you back out. Keep looking at that.
Lord,
It's already red.
You got a red pen. Oh, this is the spirit. Oh, this is the spirit. Yeah, brother. Hey, just come out, bro. This is a good question, bro. But with that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to double honor to our teachers, the head apostles, and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the fellow laborers out there. And as always, believers. Till the next time, shalom.
Shalom. PTA, Bible soon. Tonight.
Very soon.
Nah.
Y'all have a good night.
All right, bro.